Ladies and gentlemen,
just tried to do an opening gag and spilled water all over myself.
good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Shop. This is episode 10, and we've got it, man, double-digit episodes, 10 weeks of doing this podcast. Truly a blessing. And you know what's even more of a blessing? Something happened this week. We have actual slop to talk about. Isn't that exciting? It's not just 90 minutes of wheels turning and watching me attempt to create content out of thin air. We have legitimate slop this week, gentlemen and ladies. Ladies always gotta go first. Sometimes you like to switch it around, right? It's Pride Month. I don't know. Women can't be gay. I don't know. This is Slop Shop, a new comedy podcast about the happenings of the internet. My name is Harvey, and this is your one and only stop for slop. Just a reminder, if you do not care about one of the topics I'm discussing, just skip it, man. There's time codes in the description on every listening platform, including YouTube. Just skip this garbage if you don't care about it. I always talk about a bunch of stuff. So, on to Slopic number 1. The Nintendo Switch 2 has been released. The announcement trailer was 10 weeks ago because that was the first topic, Slopic, that I ever discussed on this very podcast. If you go back to episode 1, it's about the Switch 2 announcement. So it's out, and the boycotts, gamers are so silly with the boycotts. They'll make a big stink about the $80 price tag of their games and then, threaten to not buy one. And then the moment it comes out, they don't want to be, it's like FOMO. You don't want to get left out. Your friends are playing Mario Kart and you gotta drop the $600 or whatever the thing is for the new system. I do not have a Switch 2. I do plan to get one eventually. I'm not one of these people that's not going to get one. I'm just waiting for the next Mario or Zelda to come out. Also, I'm waiting for some money. Once I have money, I'll be able to do that. Broke ass bitch currently. Anyway, the Switch 2 has come out, and these sales numbers are fucking outrageous. Hold on, let's testing. What are you gonna do? There's an audio buzz. There always is. It makes me suicidal. Okay, sales numbers. So, do you guys remember how, if you're old enough, you remember how impossible it was to get a Wii on launch? The OG Wii, you could not find them. They were just, people were camping out in front of GameStops, and they had Target would get 5 in the morning, and after 5, they'd be sold out for the day, and they put a sign on the door that says sold out of Wiis, go fuck yourself. Like that was the environment back then. And there is something to be said for scarcity there that way. Like, if you can't have a thing, it makes you want it. It's a tried and true human instinct. That's how collectible card games work on scarcity. Most YouTubers will do the limited drops of their clothes. After we sell out of these, they're never getting reprinted again. So buy them now. That type of deal. It is effective. So I don't know if that was the strategy for the Wii or if it was just a byproduct of the fact that they couldn't produce them quickly enough. But the Switch 1 was a different story. It was also the Switch, if I remember correctly, wasn't like the runaway success immediately that the Wii was. The Switch came out and was well received, and then it just kept selling year after year, just until it made, $1 trillion freaking dollars or whatever. And it became one of the best selling consoles of all time. The Switch 2, because of the success of the Switch, was positioned to be, again, like one of the highest selling consoles ever. And it has been pretty much already. It's sold 3 million units in 24 hours, which is an absurd amount. That is an absurd amount. let's just do some. How much does the? Hold on, I'm just curious about the revenue there. How much is a Switch 2? 500-ish with the bundle. It's $600. It looks like 500. 500. Okay, so 3 million times 500. 1,500,000,000 in 24 hours of revenue just from this one console. I guess revenue, is that the right word? You know what I mean. Money. They have to subtract how much it costs to make, obviously. So, it's sold a fuckload. And to put that into perspective, the PS4 and PS5 did roughly 4.5 million units sold in 2 months. Sony released the sales data after 2 months of both of those consoles. They'd sold roughly 4.5 million. The Switch 2, for sure, has already done that in like the first week of release. So it is selling like hot cakes. It is, people are tripping over themselves to buy this thing. I think it's just for the future of the potential of the console, or maybe people want to replay Breath of the Wild in 60 FPS, but like there's not just I wasn't blown away by those launch titles, man. You guys playing Mario Kart like that? I guess people play Mario Kart like that. I don't know. I certainly don't. I like it well enough, but not enough to spend that kind of money. But again, once that new Zelda comes around, brother, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But speaking of if or when, these I don't know what they did differently with these Switch 2 consoles, but you can get them. They're not scarce. They're available. If you go into your local GameStop right now, or the last GameStop in your city or town that's selling exclusively Funko Pops and Switch 2s, they might have a Switch 2 for you. I think they are selling out, but they've been well supplied. So, the totally different strategy, right? Totally different strat. It's possible. I mean, it's not even possible. It's certain. I'm certain that Nintendo has done the math on this thing, and it's like, you know, oh shit, this is going to sell really, really well. Let's have the supply. Let's not make the scarcity a factor. We don't want those headlines out there that you can't get a Switch 2. Maybe on a smaller scale, maybe in Magic the Gathering, maybe in Pokemon, the card game. Is it TCG? Is that what that stands for? Oh my God. I've never put that together until this moment. But maybe in like a smaller version drop like that. But when these things are $500 to $600 a pop, we're actively just losing. We're leaving money on the table by not having the supply available. So they seem to do that. Interesting. The Switch 2 has been released and people can find them. Every streamer that I'm aware of already has one. No one got review units, so everyone started playing the games at the exact same time, which is another different sort of strategy than most people do, most game developers do. But are you guys going to get a Switch 2? Will you be getting a Switch 2? Are you still boycotting? $80 price tag. Yeah, no, I understand that, but come on, bro. You know, you gotta be realistic about this, all right? You want the new Donkey Kong. You want it in your home. You want to smash the ground and eat a banana. And you cannot be doing that on a Switch 1. You got to pony up. I had a horrible realization the other day, too, which is that the next system that I buy is a Switch 2. Because, obviously. But I will not have... I looked it up, and GTA 6 is not being released on old consoles. I only have an Xbone. I do not have the Series X or PS5. And my bum-ass laptop, allegedly a gaming laptop, will not be able to handle GTA 6. It can barely handle fucking Portal. So I'm screwed, man. I won't be able to play GTA 6. I'll just have to observe it from the sidelines and tell you sloppers my view of videos that I see and maybe perhaps a let's play. But I won't be able to play it for a long time until I figure out a better gaming setup. I want to eventually build a PC. Would love to do that. Don't have the funds at the moment. And again, like I said, the next thing that I buy, the next big thing that I buy, or perhaps I'll ask for it for Christmas, Switch 2. Because, they will eventually put out the games that I want. They don't have them right now, but they will eventually put them out. Nintendo is like a weird, awful, semi-evil company, right? They hate their fans. They'll do everything in their power to avoid giving their fans any semblance of hope or support for their endeavors. If you're like a fan-made grassroots tournament, you can go fuck yourself. Especially Smash. So if you play Smash, you can go fuck yourself. That's the Nintendo. That's like their press release that they put out. Do you still play the GameCube version of Smash? Take your own life. That was the official statement. I'm not, I'm but a messenger. But anyway, that's such a weird thing to me. But then they also, the reason people are so diehard fans, people love them like myself, is because their games are incredible and they don't do the thing. I'm picturing this console drop in the hands of either of the other two major developers, Sony or Microsoft, right? I'm certain they'd be like, we need Mario Odyssey 2. Make it happen. They just force their developers to work and crunch until they can shit out a half-hearted, barely playable, I'm picturing Halo Infinite. You know what I mean? Just so they'll have it for launch day, which Halo Infinite finally got delayed another year. But it was supposed to be the big launch title because that's their brand. Halo equals Microsoft. Master Halo Chief, what's his name? Master Ring. But he's, you got to have that to move consoles. And they didn't have it, and they didn't move any consoles. Who knows if they would have, if they did. But you have to imagine that the executives at Nintendo were worried about that because people like me are not going to buy a fucking Switch 2 because of Mario Kart. I'm not doing it. I need that 3D Mario, brother. I need that Zelda. And I haven't seen it yet. They haven't even announced, if they were close to finishing in them, there'd be a trailer or something. But there isn't. Who knows? Maybe they'll come out immediately after I finish talking. But yeah, I'm just picturing them putting out they don't do that. They do not put out the not completed games. They don't do my buddy told me, shouts out Landon, told me the other day that when you buy a physical disc for a game, you plug it, you put it in your system, and then it still downloads like another 40 gigabyte patch. Yeah, I'm putting the cart before the horse. That is just like it is downloading an update to they're still patching it post release. So they're like the game that you have in your plastic case is incomplete and unplayable. But they shipped it that way. They shipped it unplayable knowing that they would do this. That's the new industry standard. But Nintendo does not do that. They don't fuck around. They complete their games before they ship them to you. Which is crazy that that's even novel, but it is. It should be normal, but it is not. So shouts out to Nintendo. We wish you well. The $80 price tag is a problem, but what are you going to do? Inflation, blah, blah, blah. What are you going to do? I heard a rumor that GTA 6 might cost $100. I can't imagine them doing that. Maybe like 85. I can see 85. $100 is a tough pill to swallow. All right. Now we're going to move on to Slopic number 2, the one that you are presumably all here for. I don't know what I'm going to title the episode yet, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be this. Maybe it'll be the Lil Wayne thing. I don't know. But dude, come on. Trump and Elon breaking up during Pride Month. This is so funny. It is. I saw ContraPoints is all over this. My beloved ContraPoints. She posted the fucking Godzilla versus Kong. Let them fight. Pretty good. But if you're unfamiliar, if you're unaware, Elon Musk is no. Elon was sucking the teat of DJT until very recently. He was more or less in the cabinet. He was living in Washington, and part of Doge, as you're all familiar, right? So there is like turmoil. People don't like the Doge. Doge, in my opinion, is probably like a decent idea, but the execution was horrific. Really kind of embarrassing. There's been a whole lot of kind of embarrassing things that come out of the Elon camp. And this is but one, but just a very public one. But Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, the richest human on Earth. And Donald Trump is the president of the United States. The richest person in the world and the president of the United States are in a very public squabble. And it reads like fucking tabloid nonsense to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is like a massive political, huge sort of deal. But it's just so gossipy and silly, and Elon's such a dork that it's like, it just doesn't have the same weight to it that it should. You know what I mean? It's slop. That's why I'm covering it here. This is not a political podcast. This is a slop podcast. And this strikes me as sloppy. Wouldn't you agree? I think it's best that we just go through the entire timeline here. This timeline is courtesy of NBC News. All right, so of course, just like every political figure on the planet, you are originally very anti-Trump, and then you realize that it could be in your best interest to be pro-Trump, so you're pro-Trump. Exact same thing happened to Elon in 2022. Before the election, obviously, he wrote that Trump should forfeit or like give it to DeSantis. And then later in 2022, when when Elon buys Twitter, he reinstates Trump's Twitter account, which was like an olive branch. Cut to March of 24, Trump meets with Elon in Palm Beach and asks for money. Cha-ching, 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 $50 million towards like his campaign. Or excuse me, he had just paid $50 million towards his legal defense, so he needs money for his campaign. Elon obliges and sets up a super PAC for him. And then after the assassination attempt, remember that? That was fucking crazy. Crazy how fast that went by the wayside. 'Tis the nature of the news. 'Tis the nature of slop. July 2024, Musk endorses Trump immediately after the assassination attempt. He posts on X. That just rolls off the tongue. I don't know why we haven't always been saying that. But he posts that he fully endorses Trump, and he hopes for a rapid recovery. Then he and Trump do the Twitter Live thing and do like a campaign event. And then you get the the classic photos of Elon at the Trump rallies with the jumps and the awkward speeches and the dark MAGA hats, and my God, good Christ. Just looking at this photo now, I'm going to save this for future editing reference, but I mean, it's just, he's just such a dork. He's such a dork. Which is truly my biggest issue with him. I don't care about his policies or his, even the Doge stuff. I don't know. It's cringe, stupid, but like he's just annoying. He's just annoying. Honestly, I get why you break up with that type of guy. You know, he's fucking annoying. And they're both like super egotistical people. Trump actually has supporters and lovers. I mean, Elon does too, but they're few. They're waning by the minute. And anyway, let's just continue down this fucking this timeline, shall we? Trump wins the election. Musk continues to speak at Trump rallies. Trump harks freaking. So at this point, Tesla stock is plummeting because people are like, oh my God, Elon Musk is a Nazi. We had no idea. All these liberal freaking electric car owners are being, they're putting bumper stickers on their freaking cars that bought before I knew Elon was crazy. It's like the equivalent to putting a fucking black square on your Instagram during the March 2020 stuff. Yes. So then Trump hawks the fucking Teslas on the White House front lawn. He just does like a literal ad for Teslas on the White House front lawn, which was insane and illegal, I think. But no, who cares? And then during this whole time, Elon is letting his companies fall by the wayside. Their stocks are plummeting, and he is just focusing on Doge. And Doge is a big fucking failure. A massive failure. He promises $2 trillion from the budget, and then he goes down to $1 trillion, then it's like $500 billion, and then it just keeps shrinking, right? Because he realizes that it's a tough thing to do if you're not going to touch the military, which the military is the thing to touch. And Republicans will not have that, will not stand for it. So Musk eventually, amongst there's murmurings that he's annoying and he sucks and he's a pain in the ass. He's the fucking vice president. He's always standing next to Trump at every press conference in the Oval Office. He's always there. The richest guy in the world, Elon Musk, Mr. Tesla, always standing next to Trump. And then it's just like he's just annoying. He's got the fucking chainsaw on stage. He's like, legalized comedy. Yeah, you know? The comedy is legal again. He's the worst. But anyway, he is. There's murmurings that he's out. He's gonna leave. Trump puts out a statement that's like, yeah, he will be exiting the White House shortly. So he does. He gets kicked out, and there is like a literal 3-day gap. Forgot to mention, Trump is pushing this massive, it's called a big, beautiful bill, right? Massive bill. And it's apparently a bunch of hogwash. I don't know much about it. It's like a massive, it's going to doom our ancestors into being in debt for the rest of time. When we should be shrinking the deficit, will be like quadrupling our fucking output. My YouTuber Atrioc described it as like seeing the edge of the cliff and then just slamming on the gas instead of trying to hit the brake. So it's a bad bill, but Elon was all for it and was very pro-Trump, pro-bill before he got kicked out of the White House. And then 3 days after he's out, he tweets, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." So when Trump was asked about this fucking, petty ex-girlfriend ass tweet, he was like, Elon knew the inner workings of the bill. He knew everything about the bill. And he was all for it until I took out the EV mandate, which was like, gave a lot of money to electric vehicles, more or less. So Musk calls out Trump's ingratitude, arguing that Republicans would have lost the 2024 election without his support. Trump, in response, says Musk went crazy after being asked to leave his White House role, and he toyed with the idea of severing government ties with Musk's companies. Musk replies, and this is the big one, by claiming Trump was in the Epstein files. So he just went fucking absolutely nuclear, blew the fuck up his entire spot, obliterated all goodwill with his newfound Republican friends. In like one little stroke of the ad, like it's just so dumb, really, really dumb. The whole thing is really dumb. But the move to the right as Mr. Electric Car, as Mr. California, was dumb. And he like, again, Tesla stock has just plummeted since that move. And his thinking was like, all of the support that I lost on the left, I'll make up for on the right. A couple things on that. People on the right are generally not as fond of fucking electric cars as liberals. And also, no, you won't. No, you won't. There's way more people. I mean, it's like, again, it's just the demographics, but liberals are the ones who care about the environment and whatever. Anyway. So he fucking obliterated all his goodwill there. And then after a couple of squabbles with Trumpy, he obliterates all his goodwill with the right. So now he has no goodwill at all, except for tech bros who still are sucking the teat of that man because he's successful. Despite every single act of public anything, any public act at all is a nightmare for stockholders and his friends and family, presumably. Yeah, wild. So he's barbecued both sides of the political spectrum, and who are we to blame here? Is it the fact that he's a petty bitch that needs to be liked, desperately wants to be liked, desperately needs to be cool, which is the most embarrassing thing? It's been said many times, but dude, when you're the richest human in the world, it's never enough. It really puts it into perspective that all the money in the world is never enough. You cannot ever fill the hole. You need love and respect. And if you have no understanding of how to get it, you're going to make an ass out of yourself, which he has. Time and time again. But dude, can't you just like go to therapy or hire someone to be nice to you? You could hire like just a fucking committee of beautiful women to blow you at a moment's notice. A room full of 10 out of 10 Playboy models who at the drop of a hat will drop everything they're doing and come suck your cock. How can you still be empty with that? Or, you know, more, what's the word? I want to say geographically. More charitably, you could fucking spend time with your family. Spend time with your family. Why do you need it to be cool, too? You could be the richest person in the world or cool. You can be like a super high level, very autistic, hard to talk to, multi-billionaire, or you can be funny and cool. You cannot have them both. And isn't the money better in every single way? Wouldn't you just disappear onto a fucking yacht and conduct business from the sea where there are no laws and you can have, I don't know, slaves? White South African slaves. Oh boy. I don't know. His whole vibe is just crazy and cringe and awful. He's the worst. But he's really, really fucked the pooch this time. He's bit the hand that feeds him. He's got SpaceX contracts with the government that are in jeopardy now. And, I just wish that they would take their messy ass breakup and not drag the whole public through it, Send him a text, Elon. Try to call him. Leave him a long ass voice memo note. Oh my God, he has him blocked. Can you imagine him? Elon getting blocked by fucking Trump. All right, so is that to blame? Is the desperate desire to be cool and liked to blame? Or is it the ketamine? Is it the ketamine? Elon has been slamming down the K, brother. There are reports all over the place of him slurping K And it's a problem, right? If you're a trillionaire, it's kind of a problem. Problematic to be doing that. Or, again, just outsource the work and leave the public eye. Outsource the work, just hire another CEO for fucking Tesla and SpaceX or whatever. And leave. Disappear into the sunset. Do all the drugs you want. I don't know, man. I don't get it. On a much smaller scale, much more personal scale, it does kind of strike me as a terrifying, again, not conflating what he's experiencing in my situation, but on a much, 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 much smaller scale, bear with me here, it does kind of strike me as similar to, I've heard Stavros talk about the fact that he got super, super wealthy and famous, and he watched in real time as it didn't work. It didn't make him feel good. Like, and everyone says that. Everyone that gets successful is like, yeah, it's not where the happiness is. The happiness is in your connections and the people in your life, and the money and the fame and whatever. It doesn't work. Doesn't do it. But what Stavros said, which has always stuck with me, is like he had to get to that place to prove it to himself. And then once he got to that place and he had the money to fuck around, he took time off work and reconnected with his family and started spending quality time with people that he actually cared about. But he had to get to that place first. But that is an emotionally mature person. Very much not Elon Musk. You know what I mean? And you can be... Is there a billionaire who's cool? I don't think that exists. But you can be a multimillionaire, which is plenty of money, and be very cool. Like Stavros Halkias is fucking sick. Right? And again, emotionally intelligent, mature, thoughtful. No one has a bad word to say about that guy. Everyone loves listening, loving, like there's, maybe it's just once you get to that 3 comma club, it corrupts your soul. But anyway, it is what it is. Trump and Elon, messy ass pride breakup. Wish you the best, or actually, I truly do not. I don't care about either of you. You'll be fine. Okay, one more thing. It is interesting to me that every single one of Trump's close people, as soon as they leave the circle, they're like, fuck Trump. That was a miserable nightmare. I hated that. This is maybe not as relevant with the Elon thing. I think Elon had a different sort of situation, but I remember the 2016 presidency when his cabinet members were dropping like flies. Every freaking week there'd be a new firing. Someone else would just boom, heads would roll. Oh man, I would love like a documentary about that time. That's so interesting to me. But that it's very cutthroat, his situation, and it doesn't strike me as particularly it doesn't treat its people well, I have to imagine. Again, as soon as you are no longer useful, you're out, and fuck you forever and kill yourself. And I never liked you anyway. Which is an interesting, it's a way to go about it. So continue with the ketamine, Elon, because I love to see messy ass shit on my timeline. And I'm not a Tesla stockholder, so I do not have any skin in the game. I don't care. I'm just in it for the slop. I'm in it for the slop, baby. So God bless you. Would like to take a moment to remind you good people to please comment on this podcast. Take a comment. Press subscribe, press follow. It really helps new podcasts get off the ground. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Please do that. All right. Onward to something I'm much more interested in talking about, TBH. That was kind of a struggle to get through. I'm not going to lie. I don't give a fuck about that. It's just, it's what everyone's talking about, so I feel like I have to cover it. I will eventually find a good balance to, actually adding a take to something, or instead of just regurgitating the news to you good people, figuring out how I can provide value to the conversation. Provide value to the conversation. But, I should be doing that, right? Or else it's just, you've heard this story before. So I'm just recounting the story. That's nothing. That's not helpful. Not helpful. But I didn't really have a good take on it. It's funny that Trump and Elon are beefing. It's funny. That's pretty much all I got. Elon's a dork. He's on ketamine. Ha ha ha. But was the recounting was the timeline necessary? Probably not. Maybe I'll think further on. I'll try to, oh no, we're back to it. I might actually need to do a little planning for this fucking podcast instead of just sitting down in front of a microphone with my topics. Maybe some planning is in order. Maybe you're right. Fuck. Maybe you're right. But thank you for sticking through that. And honestly, dude, what's so funny is every time that right now, I feel like that last segment went poorly. But usually, not always, but usually when I get into the editing, I'll be like, oh, no, it was fine. I was just in my head because I was sitting in front of a microphone. It was fine. I'm always interesting. But we'll see. We'll see if that is true this time. And maybe I shouldn't even be shitting on the thing because maybe you liked it, And now if I'm putting an opinion in your head, like, oh, maybe, should I not have liked that? Was that bad? I'm really fucking the pooch here. Oh boy. All right, onward to something much more interesting to me, which is Lil Wayne dropped an album this week, The Carter 6. I gotta tell you, I was one of the biggest Lil Wayne fans of all time. I still love that man. He was the reason I got into hip hop. In 7th and 8th grade, I discovered Wayne in that era. It was like Carter 3 era. Carter 2 was a little bit before my time. And he was collabing with Drake all the time, doing those. They're just hopping on each other's songs constantly. And it got me into the whole Young Money world. I was a big Tyga fan. Who else? Rick Ross, adjacent to the Young Money family. Nicki Minaj, obviously. And I just fell in love with the art form. Love hip hop still to this day. But Lil Wayne is the reason for that. It's like him and less so Eminem, but it's mostly Wayne. And so I have been religiously listening to every album he's dropped just because it's Wayne, and I feel like obligated. He's my dude. And this album has gotten, I don't know if you've seen anything online, but it's gotten a lot of hate. And I gotta tell you, I loved it. No, I'm just kidding. It was bad. Unfortunately. But I have more than just that to say. So this is the Carter 6. The Carter 3 was like, again, my era. That was when I fell in love with hip hop. So I love that album. Going back and listening to it now, there's some questionable songs, but then Wayne goes to jail in between 3 and 4, comes out with 6 foot, 7 foot, one of the fucking slappers of all time. And that was the song that he drops right out of prison, out of jail, which was like one of the hypest fucking experiences of my entire life. When that came out, I was like, holy Jesus Christ, he's back. He's back. Carter 5 comes out a couple years ago, only like a couple years ago. Was that post-COVID? Oh my God, I gotta find that out. Carter 5. Yeah, okay, right before COVID, 2018. So it's been a minute, man. It's been 7 years. Quite some time. But now we have the Carter 6. And I was excited because say what you will about Wayne's general output, but he usually puts it together pretty well for the Carter series. He is like, those are his babies, and the other kind of slop albums in between, he won't try very hard. But then for the Carter albums, he gives a shit. Like Carter 5 was pretty consistently, I'm not going to say consistently, but it had some quality shit on it. 4 was wacky and very commercial. Anyway, here we have the Carter 6. And I jumped into this thing not knowing a thing about it. I as soon as it dropped, I turned it on. The cover is pretty ugly. The recurring theme of baby photo plus face tats. It's cute. I get the idea. But for whatever reason, like the way they did it for this one, it's not great. Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you guys like it? I don't know. It's also possible there's just too much shit on his face. That's also possible. But let's get right into this, baby. Ugly ass cover. He jumped the shark with the face tats. We've discussed that ad nauseum. First song, Welcome to the Carter. Good. Banger. Enjoyed it. It struck me on first listen that the song should have ended at around 2:35, like 2.5 minutes after 2 verses. I think it's like 2 choruses and 2 verses, right? Right. But it doesn't. It keeps going for another minute, which is very old school rap. It's very, very old Lil Wayne of what our songs have to be 5 minutes long. There has to be 3 verses and 6 choruses. That's some very old head shit, Wayne. But my hopes were still high at this point. So that jumps into, I keep having do you guys have the phantom buzz? And like, oh my God, where you think your phone is buzzing? I have that a lot. Okay. But yeah, fun song. And then it goes into bells, bro. Bells, bro. Ain't as hot as hell. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to play a little bit over the speakers. This is probably a bad idea, but I don't give a freak, brother. God. Those first 20 seconds, bro. I was like, come on, dude. He's back. He's still got it. Thuggin' since I got out of jail. Oh, that shit is hype, bro. That song slaps. So that was an immediate slapper for me, an immediate banger. I haven't seen much sentiment about this online, but it got added to the hip hop caviar. What's it called? Rap caviar playlist on Spotify. So some people are listening to it. I hope. Thuggin' since I got out of jail. And then they end the song with a freaking classic racist Chinese line. I mean, that's good stuff, dude. That's some classic old head banger. I love it. Love it. Yeah, I saw some fucking godforsaken thread on X.com, the everything app, about this song being bad. I would like to formally say to those people in that thread, fuck you. Kill yourself. Take your own life. That song slaps. That slaps ass, that song. Come the fuck on, bro. Yeah, great song. Best song on the album, unfortunately. It peaks early. It peaks early. So, we move straight along to Hip Hop, which is song number 4. There was an intro that I didn't talk about. Song number 4 with my boy, Big X, on the feature. Good song. I enjoy it. Freaking very catchy, flowy chorus. You just love seeing X on the feature, bro. All right, there's this one song. There's this one line. Oh man, this one line that I was like, that's the best line, and I've heard in a while. All right, so I'm going to be replacing the N-word with brother. I think that's appropriate. Godzilla, brother. Chinchilla, brother. Laughing to the bank like Ben Franklin. Ben Stiller, brother. In a villa, brother. Getting head like a pillow, brother. Bitches all over me and X like Twitter, brother. Oh, that sucked. I can't do it like he can. I can't rap like Lil Wayne can. But the bitches all over me and X like Twitter. Like Twitter, brother. Oh, he said the thing. X and Twitter. X.com, the everything app. Do your banking. Very funny. Great line. He's still got those freaking. He's still got those slappers, man. He's still got those punchlines. And he's still, you know what? He's still got it. Every once in a while, he comes through with a heater. I'm curious who wrote that, or if X wrote that chorus, or if Wayne did, or if a songwriter did. I could look it up, but I don't care that much. TBH, I'm going to give the credit to Wayne because that makes me happy. But dude, yeah, shouts out Big X, Dallas boy. We freaking got one, man. We got a Dallas guy in the spotlight. Big X the plug, an absolute hit factory. That dude is so good. He's like 24. He seems like a 45-year-old man. But he's got 214 tatted on his stomach like the Thug Life Tupac tat. 214. That's my area code. That's crazy. Shouts out Big X. We love you. All right. Moving right along to the next song, which is Sharks. Sharks. Featuring Jelly Roll and Big Sean. I gotta tell you, I love it. I love this song. Snakes ain't always in the grass. Sharks ain't always in the water. Dum dum no. No. I'd rather live with one eye open than to be sucking all on my own dick. Oh, banger, man. Come on. That's great. That chorus is killer. So I liked it a lot. I Jelly Roll did very well. It's cool that he's collaborating with Wayne. Yeah, just fun, man. And at this point, think about me. Cut to me. And you're me, right? And I'm sitting there being me. And I'm listening to this Lil Wayne album. And I'm like, holy shit, man. These are some heaters. These are some bangers. I'm also notorious for there's like I use very intentional language with the with immediate banger because I'm very fuck me in the ass. I'm notorious for having to listen to an album like 6 times for it to really click for me. I hate that about myself. I wish that I could listen to something and love it right away, but a lot of times it takes my brain some time to get a hold of it. And then every once in a while I'll listen to something and immediately like it. And that's a great feeling. But both of those songs, Bells and Sharks, I think are great. They're great. And fuck you if you disagree. Truly. Fuck you. But then we get to the next song, which is called Banned from No, N-O, which I don't know what N-O means. So this is just a big old... I'm not going to go through every song on the album, don't worry. But I'm illustrating a point here, which is that this is the first song on the album for me where I was like, oh, like, meh. So it's not he put his best songs right up front. And then it's not a sharp fall off into dog shit. It's a steady decline into dog shit. So, okay, maybe not so steady because it's one song. One song is like, oh, whatever, meh. No, that'll be a skip next time I listen to this album. I'll just read what I wrote very, very briefly here. The Days, which is the Bono song, reminds me of like, the millennial meme song. We are young. There's a fire in our soul. Then we'll go home together. We are young. You can't tell me that's not that. That is the fucking Bono song. We are young. That's right. It reminded me of what I wrote. It reminds me of the millennial meme song or recovery era Eminem. And I said, this is, again, first listen, I was like, kind of bad. Ugh, cut that. Little would I know at the time that it never gets better. But yeah, it's bad, dude. Oh, Cotton Candy I enjoyed well enough. Which one is that? I don't remember. 2 Chainz. Yeah. Okay, Cotton Candy is pretty solid. So that's the last. Yeah, there's one other song on the entire album that I thought was decent. Cotton Candy, pretty good. Flex Up, meh. And then we get to Island Holiday. Oh my God. Good Christ almighty. Okay, so I'm curious about this because Island Holiday, let's just play a few seconds and I won't get cleaned because I will be talking over it. And that's all you need. That's all you need. Oh boy. So that's what we're dealing with. And so like the thinking I thought, or you'd think the thinking would be, you'd assume the thinking would be like, we're going to do that's going to be our normie radio anthem, right? We're going to remix the Island Holiday song. I know it's a remix. I don't know what the original song is called. Okay. Weezer's in the Island in the Sun. Yeah. That's the song. That's the thing. Yep. So he made an awful version of that, remix of that song. And again, like so we're going to have our awful radio normie anthem, which sometimes even the best albums will have those on there. It's like a studio requirement, right? A lot of times. So couple things. Obviously it's really bad. It strikes me as do you guys remember the Lil Wayne guitar album? Rebirth, dude. It's Rebirth era. He's flashing back to 2011 with the fucking Rebirth era banger. And it's a huge stretch. What I mean to say is that it's really bad. And he also repeats the name of the album over and over on the chorus, ensuring that it's impossible for anyone to. Can you picture like a hit of any kind doing that? Like go to the Weezer thing, like blue album. It's fucking crazy. He's like Carter 6. This is the Carter 6. Shockingly bad. Memeably. You say that fucking 5 times fast, bro. It's not doable. Memeably bad. Okay, I just did it. It's not that bad. Not that difficult, actually. But that song sucks a bucket of shit. And I saw like the only sentiment of this album that I've seen online is that it sucks. I'm very much looking forward to the Fantano review. He has not posted it at time of recording. It will probably be out by the time this comes out. But I'm thinking a 3. He might give it a 3. Definitely red flannel. But that holiday song is a bucket of shit. And it's the low point of the album, but the album is full of low points. That's just like a craterous hole. That's like a treacherous canyon. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say about the album. It's bad. Alone in the Studio, Sad Boy, awful, MGK, never listening again. Being myself, actively annoying. I said Loki's theme, at least interesting, comma, not great. But it's at least interesting, according to me. I love that being myself, actively annoying. So yeah, that was I was taking notes as I listened to the album for the first time. And in all caps, I said, man, that second half was rough. And only in hindsight do I realize it's not even the second half. It's 3/4, the second 3/4 of the album. So it's really just only 5 of the 19 songs that are solid. The first 5 are good, sometimes great. I think Bells is great. I really like that Shark song. I'd rather live with what I open. Come on, man. It's good. Snakes ain't always in the grass. Sharks ain't always in the water. But anyway, shouts out to Lil Wayne. We love you. I will still listen to every album you drop because it's like an abusive relationship at this point. But dude, he got me into hip hop, dude. What do you want me to do? Would you prefer that I don't listen to him? How dare you, sir? I will listen to every Wayne album that drops. I probably won't talk about it on the podcast unless it's the Carter 7. So we have 7 or 8 years to wait for that. If I remember, which I won't. If I'm still doing this podcast, I'm still alive, and Wayne drops the Carter 7, I'll put this clip in. Yeah, remind me to do that. Because I'll forget. I've already forgotten. Okay. Anyway, shouts out to Lil Wayne. We love you. Your face tats are not good. Speaking of face tats, did you guys see that clip that I posted? Oh, wait, did I post that or did I just edit that? Uh-oh. I don't think I posted that one yet. I've been editing so many clips, I can't keep my freaking head on the straight, bro. It's a good time, dude. I've been editing a ton of clips for this very podcast that you're listening to right meow. And it's been going fast, pretty quick. It's going quickly, relatively. I've gotten into a flow state, and I actually am enjoying it now. It's fun going back through older episodes at 2 times speed and looking for stuff that could be potentially clippable. Christ. You know what I found by going through these clips at 2 times speed, going through these episodes, I mean? I found that at least at double speed, the podcast is pretty listenable. It's pretty listenable. And you know what? We just get better every week. I think we will continue to get better every freaking week. Slopic number 4. I think this is number 4. Yes, it is number 4. Clint Stevens is back. Holy shit, Clint Stevens is back. Of course, it took a Mario Kart coming out to get our boy Clonk back on Twitch. And I am sad to announce that he has experienced twink death. It is a depressing thing. He hasn't streamed in a year and a half, 419 days, some shit like that. Is it 419? He could have waited one more. It would have been very funny to wait one more and have the funny number. But I think I just pulled that number out of my ass. I don't know. But he's back. Such an anomaly, that man. He is the only streamer, who is capable of just taking months off and just having an audience when he returns. People are stoked to see him. Holy shit, he's back. No one else. I mean, it's against every rule of he's the only one that people will continually return to, and he'll have roughly the same viewer numbers as he used to. People still pay him, allegedly. Like he still has subscribers or Twitch subs that just pay him all the time, despite him never streaming, because they get emotes in his sub chat. So the loneliest of all humans will gather together in Twitch stream chats when the stream isn't even live. The streamer is not there. They're offline. And these folks will gather and chat without the streamer providing input. Is that, as I say it, it's kind of, I don't know, it's fine. I don't have any problem with it at all. It's kind of cute. It's just similar to a Discord community, I guess, but everything's public. It seems lonelier though, right? It feels sadder. Maybe it is just subjective. I mean, paying $5 a month to Clint Stevens, millionaire Clint Stevens, who can't be bothered to stream. That's a little silly to me. But again, I don't blame you, whatever. Everyone has their thing. Clint's a great content creator, great streamer. That was a little mean what I said just now. You can't be bothered to stream. That came out harsher than I anticipated. What I mean to say is he's just doesn't stream. He doesn't. And I guess he doesn't care. Or maybe he does. I don't know. He's I don't know, another a fascinating anomaly. It took another Mario Kart game coming out for him to come back to the limelight. But God bless you, Clint. It is weird not seeing a person's face, for an online personality's face, for more than a year. You see how a year changes you visually. He looks older. We all do, but we see it so gradually that it doesn't strike us as anything. But if you take a year off from the internet, suddenly you look older. And twink death. Rest in peace to twink Clint Stevens, and hello to normal skinny guy, middle-aged. He's like 30. Hello to normal 30-year-old man, relatively skinny Clint Stevens. We love you, Clint. God bless you. Glad you're back. You know who else is back? Billy Mitchell. Billy freaking Mitchell. Do you guys know Billy Mitchell? He's the guy who cheated allegedly in Pac-Man, allegedly. And he's extremely litigious, allegedly. And he'll sue you at the drop of a dime, allegedly. But yeah, he cheated at Donkey Kong, and got sued or he sued Twin Galaxies after the discrepancy was announced. Twin Galaxies suggested that he had falsified his score, and pretty much everyone that has ever played the game agreed that his thing was not true, not real, allegedly, in my opinion. So, and then there's this guy, Carl Jobst, who you might be familiar with, whose whole thing, he's a speedrunning queef, and he's like, his whole thing is calling people out for cheating in the speedrunning community. It's an extremely niche calling, but that's his deal. I have always found him irritating, Carl Jobst. He's very self-righteous and holier than thou. And his ad breaks are just the most annoying. It's just, I don't know. Something about smearing someone's name through the mud and then breaking 2 minutes in to cut to a fucking mobile game ad. It just rubs me the wrong way. A little bit. But they're entertaining videos. I still am subscribed to him and watch a lot. I usually watch the Billy Mitchell stuff because it's interesting. But Billy Mitchell has been suing Carl Jobst for defamation or libel is written. Is defamation the other one? Oh boy. Anyway, one of those. And he won. Billy Mitchell won the lawsuit. Which is crazy. It's like the first lawsuit he's ever won. All right. I'm not sure where we were. Sorry, I had to suck my own dick for a second. So Carl Jobst has made just, dozens of videos about Billy Mitchell, and he is just he's been slurping that haterade, bro. And Billy Mitchell is a clown. He is just a historic record of frivolous, unsuccessful lawsuits over and over. But the thing that he sued Carl Jobst for was not like the defamation thing, was because he claimed that Billy Mitchell was partly responsible for the suicide of a fellow speedrunner creator. And Carl Jobst was not transparent with this information to his audience. He basically just kind of washed over that little piece of it and just said that he was getting sued for defamation. So Billy Mitchell wins this fucking lawsuit against this guy who's been shitting on him for years. Very ironically, the one lawsuit that fucking Billy Mitchell can win is against this guy, his biggest hater. It's pretty funny But I've seen a lot of positive sentiment about Billy Mitchell now, which strikes me as interesting. It's like there is still a massive amount of power in winning a lawsuit. Winning a lawsuit will do a ton for public perception. O.J. Simpson. You win the lawsuit and suddenly there's like a massive, like people just generally think highly of our legal system that way. So I don't know. I still think Billy Mitchell is a clown, allegedly, in my opinion. But I think Carl Jobst is kind of a dickbag, and I always have felt that way. There's a lot of, sometimes, do you guys ever hate follow someone or subscribe to someone and watch their videos and just kind of hate them, but it fuels you a little bit, that hatred? It's very petty and definitely not healthy, but I do it. And there's one YouTuber who I will not name because it's mean, that I am subscribed to, that I hate. He happens to be in the he's a Nintendo guy. But anyway, it's something. It is something. Those videos they're titillating, they're interesting, and they're douchey. And it is very funny how fast the internet has turned on Carl Jobst. That is what happens when you drink the haterade, bro. Similar, very, very similar to an H3H3. If your entire career is built on slurping hate or aid, that is what happens, dude. One thing comes out about you, or you say one thing incorrectly, and people flip like a switch. Everyone's just waiting, like hyenas waiting to pounce on your ass, because that's what you've been doing all these years. You've been just shit talking everyone around you. So similar to like a Bill Cosby or something, when it's cathartic when you do something wrong, because suddenly people are like, oh, God, maybe we're all okay then. It's human nature, I guess. My point is, you don't want to be doing that. That's not what this podcast is ever going to be. I will be talking shit, but I'm not going to be fueled by it, right? I'm just going to be covering slop because it's fun and it's frivolously interesting. I've used that word like 4 times this podcast, frivolous. But dude, the fucking Keemstars of the world, ugh, just couldn't be me, man. I don't want it. I don't want that in my life. So, shouts out to Billy Mitchell, I guess. Ew. I retract that shout out. Allegedly. Alleged shout out to Billy Mitchell, in my opinion. And Carl Jobst, you are annoying. You always have been annoying. Just be a little less, right? Be a little more funny and a little less shitty and annoying. There is a way to do that. You can cover these speedrunning drama sessions without being such a dick. But I don't know. Maybe people have abandoned this man. I think he'll probably bounce back. I don't think again, Twitter is not a real place. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to do a little what have I been watching and then get the heck out of here. All right, I want to give a huge shout out to a new comedian that I've found recently that I love. He is, I was going to call him like a Kill Tony type, but that's just because he has a disability. He has Tourette's. His name is Benny Feldman. And the thing with, this is going to maybe sound shitty, but I hate Kill Tony most of the time because there's like a level of, look at this retarded guy on stage. Isn't it funny that he's retarded? Right? Or you're generally willing to give a little bit or a lot of grace to the people with a disability, to someone with a disability that is on stage performing because it's brave and it's inspiring and blah, blah, blah. a lot of times they're not that funny. This dude is legitimately great and hilarious. Benny Feldman. He's a one-liner comedian, and he is awesome. I'll put one of the jokes that I saw recently that made me die laughing in real life. Put it right here.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Yeah. Fish day.
I mean, that's amazing. That's so good. Hilarious angle. So funny. But yeah, he's got mega Tourette's and he's hilarious. And I highly recommend you check him out. Follow him on Twitter. He is a special on YouTube that I have not seen, but I will see it because it's great. He's great. Shouts out to Benny Feldman. We love you. I rewatched The Incredibles, which I think is a legitimate 10 out of 10 animated masterpiece. I have one like tiny gripe with the movie, but it's like not even worth mentioning because it's so airtight. It's so well paced, well written, well structured. I was struck by it's like the shots are animated well, meaning like there's like cinematography in the animation. There's the quote unquote camera where the camera is well thought out. But it's hilarious, of course. It's very sweet. It's dark, especially for Pixar. It's fucking real. People die. Our heroes kill people. Many people. There's like those the faceless goons, Syndrome's goons on the island. Those people die by the dozens, which is awesome. I love that one scene right at the beginning, or right when the kids get to the island. The mom is like, you know those Saturday morning cartoon shows that you watch where the hero always gets away? This is not like that. If these people find you and get a hold of you, they will kill you. I'm like, that's some fucking dark shit for a children's Pixar movie. That's why this is the Pixar movie with the most balls, and it's the best Pixar movie, period. This is also from the era when Pixar took risks and gave a shit about things and would open Finding Nemo with his wife getting murdered by the big fish, or Up when with the old lady dying. Like, that's when they had balls, and everything's so sanitized now. Inside Out 2 can suck my cock. That movie blows. But The Incredibles is fantastic, man. The score, dude, is like the Mission Impossible, similar to Mission Impossible theme. God, it's so good. It's so fucking good. Oh, man. How could you possibly bring me lower? What more could you possibly take from me? Oh! It's so great, man. Your family survived the crash. India Golf 909 are disengaged. There are children on board. There are children on board. Now! That whole scene's unbelievable. Him finding about the Syndrome's plan, and like the music of him finding all his friends dead. God, it's fucking great. It's great. Shouts out to The Incredibles, bro. Happily bestow you with a 10 out of 10. I rewatched Who Framed Roger Rabbit with my buddy Landon. Second shout out of the episode, I believe. That movie is the shit. It's awesome. It has like just an unbelievable amount of care went into it. You have animated characters holding real life props and vice versa. The first one being more difficult, obviously. So you'll have like there's a scene in a strip club or a bar, and they built the whole thing on stilts. Like the entire set is 6 feet in the air, so that puppeteers could hold drink trays and like right below the set and hobble it around, so that they'll eventually animate these penguin waiters holding the trays. Like, it's crazy. There's one time when they're weasels. The weasels are the goons weasels come in and they're all holding real guns and real baseball bats, and they're just like on strings. And the behind the scenes stuff is just unbelievable, really remarkable. And also, like, the biggest takeaway is that we'll never see anything like this ever again because there's so much crossover between Disney and Warner Brothers. Bugs Bunny is in the movie more so than Mickey Mouse even, but they're constantly in the same frame together. It's crazy. I mean, it's just nuts. I watched the Red Letter Media review about this, and they made the point that Steven Spielberg, who produced this, had crazy pull in Hollywood at this time because he's the reason, probably him and Kathleen Kennedy are the reasons that they got both studios to agree to this thing. And it's a Disney property. Like, they announced it. It's a Touchstone, which is Disney subsidiary. But I mean, it's nuts. It's crazy that this movie exists. And they the famous bumping the light sequence, if you're unfamiliar, there's a term in animation called bumping the lamp, which is it's a colloquial day 15 of not knowing how to say that word and continuing to try it anyway. So it's a saying amongst animators for like a thing that you do that no one would notice if it wasn't in the movie. No one cares that it's there. It's just there so that you can raise the bar and impress other people in the industry. So at one point, Roger and our main characters are in the bar, like the back room of the bar, and one of the characters bumps the lamp. And so the light source is just rotating in a circle the entire scene. And so you constantly have to animate the light change on Roger over and over and over. It just has to be the biggest pain in the ass of all time. And again, it's totally unnecessary. Had that not happened and the scene played out exactly the same, no one would have been, it still would have been just as acclaimed as it's just for the animators and the director, and just like, we can do this. We can handle this. We're going to show what we can do. We're going to bump this lamp for no reason. So bumping the lamp is the expression. I when I was talking about this and talking about my favorite movies of whatever 2 years ago now on my YouTube channel, I discussed this very topic when I was talking about Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse movie. Spider-Verse is just 100% bumping lamps. Both those movies are just, they're fucking lamps up every day. Every day they get to set and they're like, how can we fuck up a lamp? How can we destroy a lamp in the most creative way possible? So shouts out to Roger Rabbit, an absolute classic, a banger. Really, really killer. It's Chinatown with tunes. Dropped a piano on his head. Hilarious. But yeah, dude, that movie's the shit. And then lastly, I watched The Phoenician Scheme with Wes Anderson, by Wes Anderson, at Alamo Drafthouse last night. Mid. Very lower tier Wes Anderson. Where is the heart in these recent movies, man? I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. Like, his old movies had soul to them, had humanity. I'm not getting that at all with these new ones, man. I got a piece of it in, what the hell is that? The anthology one called? I'm blanking on it, but the anthology one I really loved. There's some heart in that, but these, like the Asteroid City most recently, and then this, I'm like, come on, bruh. Give me something I can latch onto. Give me characters that don't talk quite as autistically. Or you can even have the autistic dialogue, but just give me some heart. Give me some reason I should care. I don't know why I should care about any of these people. You know, they're annoying. They're selfish. Benicio del Toro is fantastic. And his daughter, I don't remember her name, the actor's name, but she's great. But, you know, mid. Very skippable, in my opinion, unfortunately. Love Wes Anderson. Will still always watch whatever he puts out, but very skippable. I learned something from Dan Murrell, who's in his review of this film. Wes Anderson has this billionaire... Hold on. Indian Paintbrush is the name of the So Indian Paintbrush, which I've always seen in front of these Wes Anderson movies, and they do some other stuff, but a lot of the, like every one of the Wes Anderson movies since the Darjeeling Limited is financed by Indian Paintbrush. And this studio or distribution what would you even call this? Production company? Yeah, whatever. They've financed every single one of Wes Anderson's projects since the Darjeeling Limited 2007. It's owned by this billionaire, Stephen Rails, who loves Wes Anderson and just writes him a blank check for every film. That's crazy. That's like the dream of all creatives, is to have a billionaire in your pocket who's down to finance your every project. That's pretty wild. So that's I was curious because I was like, these movies don't make much money. People just, studios must just love Wes Anderson and want their movies on, in their portfolio, but that's actually not the case. It's all one studio that does that, owned by a billionaire. And that billionaire's name is Elon Musk. Just kidding. But don't you see how I tied it all together there? All right, gamers, sloppers, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. What an episode. Trump and Elon. The Carter Six. Clint Stevens is back. Billy Mitchell. Didn't talk about George R.R. Martin, but I guess we can talk about that real quick. Fuck that. Anyway, George R.R. Martin crashed out, finally, which is fun, but it's depressing also. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you listening and watching, and I will see you for episode 11 next week. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye.